Alrighty, everybody. Hey, it's a Wednesday, a rainy Wednesday in southern Illinois. Temperature has dropped back down into the 60s, so it's actually livable once again. Hey, I am Nathan Bonner. I am the creator and sole animator of Indavo 3.0 and the artist of The Big Muddy Monster, a true life tale of Murfreesboro, Illinois, detailing Murfreesboro's very own cryptid, a Sasquatch-esque sort of creature, affectionately known as the Big Muddy Monster. Now, it's not because it's large and muddy, but it is. There is a river called the Big Muddy River, which winds through southern Illinois and does go through Murfreesboro. And this is usually around the area where the creature has been sighted, therefore it is known as the Big Muddy Monster. Yes. Anyway, Sasquatch-like, it has tan fur, red eyes, terrible smell, terrifying sound I would not like to hear again in my life, as the old guy on Close Encounters once said. Only on the theatrical cut. They cut that line in the other ones. I don't really know why. Anyway, Spielberg made too many editions of that. Which is fine, because I love the movie. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Disclosure? They link? I think thematically, maybe. Slightly. I don't think it's a tacit sequel. Nah, probably not. Though I would hope. Anyway, Richard Dreyfuss is still around. No, none of that. Okay, so let's focus on today. Okay, so what is going on today? Today we have as you may notice, I have Clip Paint Studio Pro EX fired up. So we are going to go to Start File, and we're going to go to New. What are we doing? Okay, so we're doing animation. Yes, this seems about right. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, so 48. I'm doing some light math here. I think that'd be 6 seconds. That's probably way more than what we'll need. We can always adjust that later. Let's go ahead and click OK. Okay, and this brings us up to our screen. Okay. Let's click out of the animation folder onto the paper side. Okay. Because here, we're going to be placing our background. Okay, so what is going on? Okay, well, so our intrepid space explorers have left Ratty and A1 back on the ship, and they have gone into Taronkanka City, which is built into a crater, and in the desert of Taronkanka, of course. And they check around and are directed to see Mr. Smarth at the Azure Ferret. And so they go into this place. It's a hotel casino. Big, large, blue egg-shaped building. I mean, ginormously huge egg-shaped building. And after they walk in, they are observed by nefarious aliens or two. And they go in to this one room, and there is a techno beat going on. And this is when Selexis, the Come on the Floor show, will make her entrance. Now, she will come down a pole from above the stage. But not quite that way, no. No. This isn't pole dancing. She's just using the pole as a way to make the entrance. Possibly, we might do a short 2-second intercut of her doing a pole dance at some time. Maybe not. I don't know. It's on the table, but is it necessary? With the episode being packed full of 342 shots already, does it necessary? No. Is it an adult self-indulgent? Yes. Is it fan servicery? Yes, again, probably yes. So I said 6 to 1/2 dozen of the other here. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Excuse me, whilst I've got some minor housekeeping on another machine. Let's go ahead and take that off. Okay. So. Previous works here. We need to go into the work folder. 1 second here. Behold my amazing file architecture. Yes, yes. You may be awed by its magnificence. Oh, yes. Man, thrilling, pulse pounding. Okay. So let's get into here. Let's grab a few things. First, the background. Boom. Okay, so this is the background. It's a lot darker than I envisioned. No, okay. So this is the background. It's a bit dark. Yeah. I will probably lighten that in Photoshop whenever we get ready to do the compositing. We're not doing the compositing here, and we're just going to probably be making a PNG sequence of Celexis, and she'll be composited onto this later. But so we're just going to put that right here. Okay, so what we're also going to do then is we are going to take the hand tool, and we're going to go off to the side here just a bit. Okay, and we're going to put our next. You know what? I probably just should go ahead and chop that down, because that's probably be a problem. Did I do that as a yeah, okay. Is that still open? That's still open. Okay, let's render her out right now. Because I think I saved that as a JPEG when I probably shouldn't have done. So we're gonna go preview, and we're going to go, that was really quick. We're gonna go PNG, and I did not save that at all. That would have been a problem I'd have to do anyway. Okay, back down into here. You cannot see any of this, but trust me, things are happening behind the scenes here. It is amazing. Yeah. So, okay, let's go ahead and minimize her. All right, so that was Celexis in her performance outfit. I mean, she does as also Saprosa, hired gun for Smarth, an enforcer, mercenary, hired muscle. Take your pick. And that's her kind of her secret identity in all of this. Yes. The Big Money Monster. Speaking of which, this is working on some submissions for a show at SAU's Shop Museum on cryptids. So I submitted 3 of my Big Money Monster pieces, and they probably will not get in because I'm seen as a hack. Yes, in the autistic community. And rightfully so, might I add. Ha. Alright, let's... And we're gonna call this Celexis. Pow. Okay. Now, I'm also going to import another image. Which other image is it? It's this one right here. PNG. All right, hey! Because, okay, so we don't have that big white area around her. I can see that. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, gosh, well. I need to kind of keep her off to the side as a reference so I don't get too crazy with things. All right. So, there's one more thing I need to make here. This is a little bit of a guide. All right. Let's go back to here. Okay, so what this is going to be is this going to be using a pencil tool, and so we kind of can tell that this is supposed to be a rough penciling. Maybe too big. Yeah, let's go 50. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to I'm just going to start right now. So I'm penciling in the path that I expect her to take down the pole. Okay, and I'm going to turn that down. Okay, so that we have a reference of kind of how this should go. Kind of based on where her hand will be, I suppose. So what we need now is we need keyframes. Keyframe 1. Keyframe 1 will be blank. Well, yeah, it'll be blank. And then there. There'll be one here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. The first 3 seconds are not going to have anything in them. And we're going to do a keyframe here. So we're going to add in new animation cell. Pow. Okay. Now, part of the problem that I have is with the animation cells. So sometimes when I'm scrubbing the timeline, I accidentally will get into the the cells themselves and rearrange them, and I gotta watch that. That's a bad habit. So scrubbing the timeline is probably also bad too. I should probably be using these keys. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's do some penciling here. Let's take down the opacity on things here, so we kind of got everything we need. As long as I can see, that's fine. Okay. Let's go here. All right. Getting our trusty pencil tool here. We're going to basically kind of start out with her feet entering. Yes, entering the shot here. Thought they should even be bigger. Well, they might be bigger than the previous frame. I've got 2 frames. But anyway, so we're just going to put a foot here. Wow. Okay, well, that's a foot. Question is, what shall we have out? I one tucked underneath her, or is she going to have them both out? One will probably be tucked underneath her. So yes, this will be fine. All right, so that's 1 frame. Wow, it is going amazingly well. Let's kind of hit. Let's kind of try and hit the main keyframes from here on out, and then we'll fill in and still trying to do this all, doggedly ahead and get all the timing messed up. So okay, at second one here, we're going to put in another keyframe. All right, and also what we need is we need this thing called onion skinning. Okay, so this shows us in blue where we've been. Anything green is where we're going. Okay, so we're just kind of lightly put some very, very, very stick figure-ish. Did I mention this is incredibly complicated and probably insane to be doing? Yes, I probably should have. But, so what we're going to do is, that is too small. That's what that is. Okay, so let's go back into this frame. Yeah, you have very, very dainty feet. It's tiny, tiny feet. Reducto from Harvey Birdman. Okay, that's probably not good. All right. Since Colbert is leaving late night, maybe he'll go back to Harvey Birdman sometime. A revival of Phil K. Seaton and Reducto. I doubt that. Anyway, okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just kind of put a hand kind of here. This may be too big. Yeah, I may have to have that come in back to being smaller. I don't know if this is how this is going to work. So we're just kind of gonna be putting everything together very, very roughly like here. Okay, we'll have this one down here like that, and underneath it, this one here will be this leg, and it will be up like that. Okay, here, swishing this way. Okay, well, this is very, very rough, and this is going to get very messy very quickly. I should tell you that. You probably would have guessed that if you've watched any of my art streams. Let's do the second. Okay, let's get the next one. Let's kind of get the main gist of the motion down here. Okay, so therefore, okay, so we'll have her be hanging out around here. Okay, so we're going down in the downward position. A little bit smaller though. This is going to be a tricky one. Okay, now lower. Mm-hmm. Yes! See me. Struggle with the medium. Live! Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to try and just get the Primaris from the keyframe. Oh, no, lower, much lower than that. Okay. Okay. Now let's put in another keyframe, and she will be even lower still. Let's put it, well, it will be back down here. Now most of the detail is going to be, of course, obliterated. Completely obliterated. Completely obliterated, so just going to kind of really kind of just more or less just kind of generally for my own purposes sketch out where everything is at here as such. Okay, worry about that connecting arm. Well, maybe a little bit there. Connecting arm right there. Okay, that would go to the pool, and that would be connecting right about here. All right. Yeah, I might have to connect. I might have to be condensing these guys down a bit. Yeah, let's try this. Great. Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, no. I'm drawing on the same cell for one thing. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, well, let me think about this for a second here. Oh no, much lower, much lower than that. Let's see. Okay, well, this is, like I said, a little bit more somewhat complicated. How this is going to work. Let's see what we've got here. Like that. Okay. Tell you right now that I am going to have to condense these down. Yeah, these keyframes are spaced a bit too far. Apart. So that's frame 1. Let's go to frame 7. And frame. Quicken this up a little bit here. All right, gives me a little bit more frame reference. It may have to be tightened up, or I may have to start from scratch again. Because let me tell you, whew, yeah, it's complicated. All right. Now, am I doing this correctly, or am I doing this completely wrong? You know what? I could be doing this completely wrong. There may be better ways of doing this. There may definitely be better ways of doing this. I'm not saying there aren't. Said I don't do a lot of frame by frame, so therefore I am endeavoring to do more, and sometimes that is effective. Other times it is not, perhaps, as one might hope. And we'll just kind of leave that there. The hair in for reference going about like that. Okay. Now, is this going to have to be tied up more? Yes, I believe it's going to have to be tied up quite a bit more. We're getting very close. Okay. That. So her hair is going to be like that. Like that. And then like that. There, we're getting very, very close to the bottom here. So this is maybe not bad. Oh, maybe it's not bad after all. Alright, let's put some reference in here to make sure I've got everything kind of close to where it should be. And we'll put her coming down the other side, way down here. Whoops. Jumped ahead myself. All right, new frame. Ooh. Okay, new frame. Perhaps even this and that. Okay. See, that's not bad, but what it needs to do is it needs to go out to here. Actually, just some more of those frames in that way. Try not to muffle myself when I'm talking either. Rough things right down through here to kind of make sure that we've got everything kind of as it should be. And let's see what we've got. Turn off that onion skin. Okay. Tell you right now one thing, that's got to be tightened up. Yes. 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 All right, so That's not a problem. We're just going to move this guy over. Okay, there's 1, 2. We'll give it 2 frames to get to here. You know, objects close to the camera move faster because they are moving faster. All right. Right on. Okay, so we're going to probably give you another 1, 2, 3 right there. Bam. Okay. Well, that's the good thing about this is you can tighten things up. A little bit more. There we go. Okay, let's do that. Alright, there we go. This is much better. We don't want to give the audience too much time, the audience, too much time to think about how crappy this looks. We want it to be flash, boom, boom, done, type of thing. So the sooner I can get down to close to 3 seconds, the better. We don't want her going down the pole and it going like some sort of Family Guy episode. No, we want to try to avoid that because, you know, see how kind of generally crappy things are. All right. All right. Okay, so let's talk right about here. Okay, let's bring this down so I can kind of see what's going on in the main scene a little bit more. All right, let's go ahead. All right, let's bring this down right here. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see what we got here. Start doing a little bit more cleanup here, if we don't. So clean up. So she'll have that underneath there. That will go to right about there, right there, like that. Got that thing going on there, and of course I got her Easter there. All right, not bad, not bad. What can I do? That type of thing. What can I do? One divot here, over to there. I'm not going to worry about this hand per se right now. And we're not going to, well, we can start kind of worrying about the musculature here that is involved in all of this, obviously. Try to make this look semi-convincing in some way. Okay, well, looks like we want one of those here. Let's put one of these here too. Okay. Let's get a little bit more detail on here. We'll come back to the fingers later. All right, so. Whew. It's quite the jump, but that's what you want. Or is it? I'm going to put a frame right here. Right here. Is this an in-between? Yeah, sort of. Sort of. We must give some impression that we're actually going behind yonder pole. So we're kind of following this arcing motion down here, so the head has to go right about here. Be a little bit there than that. Okay, so we'll put the head right there. Okay, so that's the body there, the body there. Go. Can I get that in there? Okay. Now, again, this is not going to be incredibly detailed because a lot of this, like where the connect to the pole, is going to be kind of hidden. So therefore, we're going to make sure that that goes down to right about here. What's really going to help sell this? It's not paradoxically. Oh, again, this is more detail. It's just being held. It's being hidden by the pole, but that leg that's going to be out there like that is not going to be hidden by the pole at all. Okay, and we've got this other arm out here. It's going to go back to there, and it's going to have there. Okay, now we got to go. The hair's got to go like this. Put the hook on one end, and then flat. Oof, that to the other. Now the hair is probably like way longer than it is because wow. Yeah, it is. We want it to be a little bit longer, but not maybe like Rapunzel-esque. Okay, so it's just the hair being the swishy part behind is going to help sell the movement. It's if it's kind of curvature-esque, then if it follows the curve of the descent of the motion, this will help. It's going to help us tremendously. If it does not, then it's going to destroy the effect completely. No, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. No pressure. Yes. Well, I am not a seasoned professional. I have done some frame by frame in the past here. See, yeah. So we're selling this. Yeah, we're kind of, maybe it's a little motion streaked. It's distorted. A little Studio Gainax style distortion here. Studio Gainax really kind of started the whole process of action sequences being done on threes. Well, maybe not started, but definitely perfected. Let's say that. Started? No. Perfected? Yeah, we'll say perfected. Okay, again, this is just for reference to make sure that there is some structure there and I'm not completely winging it, because you can tell when you're just drawing a silhouette without actually drawing the figure and then filling it in. We're gonna hit save, because I probably should have done it a very long time ago. Okay, so let's turn off the onion skin. See, let's turn off the onion skin once it finishes saving. Okay, let's see what do we got here. Oh, well. It's an illusion. Okay, so no matter how crappy an individual drawings can be, as long as there's a flow in there, you can sell that. I hope. Now, as you can see, it's getting to like 4, and I haven't gone beyond that just yet on purpose, because maybe a couple more frames, not sure yet. So what I want to do, and see here, I'm going to put that in here, and then that's going back behind, and pow. I'm going to put those on there, those on there, those on there, and those on there. Okay. We're going to worry about everything else. Yes, she's clothed. She is clothed. It is just at this phase, let's not add any more unnecessary lines than are necessary. All right, let's see here. Don't scrub the timeline. yes, okay. Yeah, okay, wow. Okay, yeah, we're gonna probably do another keyframe after that. Okay, let's check our, okay, motion. Okay, is this good enough here? Let's see, she's probably got her foot out, leveled out to her leg, so yeah, that would be close. Let's clean this up just a skosh here. That heel is a Vegas style showgirl heel, I suppose. No, she's not a stripper. She gets mad about that. Let's not talk about that. Okay, so that's relatively okay. So we'll have to add in things like an ear here, just to kind of show you that she does actually have some structure to things. And I'm not sure how that all goes, but we're going to put one of those dealies there. And we're going to put some lines on that hair right now. And we'll worry about the hand later. Okay, back to here. That's fine. We're going to leave that as is. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so this one, we do need to clean up just a skosh on. So here's her head. Here's her shoulder. Okay. So, okay. This is where we need a little bit more cleanup here to kind of get this to be in, because she's coming around, so she's going to be facing more this way. So let's change this orientation. Let's keep her right about there, though. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this orientation a little bit. And the connector is going to be right about there. That's where she's connecting up at. Just ever so slightly fudging that. Ever so slightly fudging that. All right. So there we go. And very, very good. All right. Alrighty. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and just fill that in. None of this out here in the white will be seen. This is just more for structural bits. Okay, so there won't be a problem with that. Okay, we'll just leave that as is. Okay. 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 Tightening things up really here on the timeline before we proceed any further. I was hoping to get everything done in 3 seconds. And you know what? It may... Ooh, don't scrub the timeline. Do not scrub the timeline. Okay, so what I'm having a problem with right here is like that. Okay, so here's the deal. Well, actually, not too late. I erased it. It's gone. What we need is something more like this, because she is descending, but still not. That okay, there we go. And she'd actually hurt would be actually good there, so that. But aha, that's what's part of the problem is right there. Is that arm? That arm doth bug me greatly. Okay, put her hand out there. It's very far in the background. There's a little bit of paradox going on there. Okay. Okay, so let's check the motion again. After it saves, of course. See, Nathan Bonner, save files. What pulse pounding action could you hope for in an art live stream? Wow. Okay. Anyway. Oh, okay. Now, okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. Not bad. Okay, we're back to there. Okay. Let's alter this one just a little bit and alter that just a little bit too. Okay, that's not bad, but that's not too bad anyway. That's kind of that bottom line could definitely stay there. Okay, so like I said, the hair sells the motion. Hook there. I know this is like far longer than her hair really is. Okay, I understand that. I get that. But it's okay. And we've got to add in. Okay, that's gonna go there. It's gonna go. No, let's make that more look like a. What is that? Jeez. Crab claw? Eesh. Supposed to be a foot. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I hope Miyazaki's original frames will look as crappy as mine before they're civilized. Oh. Speaking of that, Miyazaki content that you may not be aware of that you should definitely check out. It's older, but it's Future Boy Conan. It is amazingly good. It's his first directorial debut when he's directing something that isn't Lupin the Third, and it's his own series based on a book. He likes to do that. He likes to base his series on Western books, and it is post-apocalyptic. It has environmentalism. It has the whole Miyazaki-esque thing that our protagonist meets many people, and at first they may seem like enemies, and they become friends, become allies. It's a Miyazaki theme. You never know who you're going to end up being a friend with. I think is what he is trying to get through there, and it is really, really good. It is definitely good. All right, so yeah, we're tightening this up so much that we're going to have have quite a few some other keyframes to do here. All right, so okay. So far, not bad, not bad. Okay, right here. This one's out of sequence. Oh gosh, yeah, this one's out of sequence. Okay. All right, onion framing. See where we're at. See where we're going. Okay. Note the triangular pattern here of the 3 frames, of these 3 keyframes. This is semi-intentional. Thank you very much. Oh, you could do that. All right. So what I'm going to have to do, though, is I'm going to have to probably just eliminate all that. Because, okay. This one is a little bit off. How the hand connects to the pole is a little too janky, I suppose is what I'm looking for. Yes, so we have that hand slide from here. Okay, so it's kind of keep that in mind here. Oh, was I doing some measuring? My fingers, I might have been. Yes. Okay, so again, let's put that head down a little bit. That's where the shoulders at. She's probably riding with the waving to the crowd. Head down where we are almost overhead. So okay. Trying to suss out some of the particulars of our performer. Okay, there we go. And then that leg's still want to stretch out. That's one. Go back down here. Okay. And then the hair, of course, will swoof around. Maybe be a less swoofy this time. Okay, there we go. Here we can begin to kind of build. So I should be building shapes, not just immediately trying to draw on hands and stuff. Okay, make sure. Always check your reference, especially when drawing the ladies. This is a thing that I've noticed. I call it artistic drift, and it happens. And it's just not, okay, it's just not guys who do this. Oh, yeah, you gooner guys are like, whatever parlance is the modern days. No. This is something that happens even with women artists, is that the, if you're not careful, the female brassiere size will increase exponentially with each time you draw. So you got to be careful; things will get out of hand. It happens a lot, especially I suppose with the younger artist. Both, both male and female. Yeah, totally. There's nothing particularly wrong with it. It's just a thing, I suppose. Something to watch for, though. Alright, put that there. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Ooh, let's get rid of some extraneous lines that we don't need. Okay, let's go back and see what we got here. Let's get off. Alright. I think it's going to end at 3 seconds. I think so too. For the sake of brevity. Like I said, the longer this goes on, the more chances that this illusion that you are creating, that I am creating and you're watching me create, will self-destruct and implode in a very horrific fashion. So that's what we're hoping for, to avoid at any rate. Okay. So we still have a few more frames to do, but I was just looking here. Let's see, was it here the second time around? Right here. Okay, this one right here. Yes. Let's see. Right there. That's better, yes. Placement's better. Okay, okay. All right, so this one kind of struck me as being like, wow, this is a little off, but it is okay. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay, so like I said, most of this detail is going to get obliterated by Yond Pole, but that's not an excuse not to try to put it there. It's helpful when trying to gauge if this is actually working. And we've got to put that a little bit more of this out there. That's kind of what's going on too, is I think take off the onion skin so it doesn't look so I had the skin off. What do you know? Hey, all right, this is looking much better. Boy. Okay, this is only this one. All right. Yes. And I really like Clip Hey Studio Pro. I have the X version. It's a little bit more expensive, but you know, I have bought this. I have paid my money. I own it. It's never going to be discontinued or pulled. I can use this to the end of time as long as I have an operating system which can run it. And if I want to upgrade to the newest version, I definitely can, but it's not necessarily a pro forma thing that I have to. And I like that. And it's very robust software with lots of nice features. And why, you know, it works. So it definitely does work. So according to this, I have one more frame I want to do. Now, could I do another second? I could do another second. So 2 more frames. Well, and a frame and a half. It's going to cut off there, which is fine. So, all right. Perhaps a little bit more triangulation here. So we're right here. See, okay, we're still overhead, but maybe not as quite as long as we were. All right, let's change that to be a little bit more in. Okay. She's approaching the bottom of the pole, coming in for a landing, as it were. As we're hoping she's going to come in for a landing anyway. So, again, it's going to be this hair motion. Oof. Okay, we need to tone that down a bit. Well, yes. Okay, it's gonna be the hair motion, but it's also got to have to start kind of looking like it's where it should be on her head now. Go ahead and put an ear on there. Okay, and now she's got her hand on here. This is a really thick pole. We're going with it though. She's got a killer grip. Comes from all her people are immensely strong compared to those humanoids, and with a few other tricks up their sleeves. So, not worrying too much detailing, because there is a fair amount of black on her. Okay, so now we're going to go to here. That's connected down lower, much lower down here. Okay, shoulder. Gluteus maximizer. Okay, like I said, most of this will probably not even be Let's bring that in a bit. Okay, we don't have to quite. So we're getting closer to the bottom. It's got. We're gonna have to rein this. Ooh, grab the paintbrush. Rein this hair in a little bit so that we're kind of getting the idea that this is actually kind of, you know, a little bit more in tune with what we've got over here, which comes down back to here. So this is really still kind of flaring out quite a bit. So let's kind of clean that up a bit so I don't actually. Okay, well, covered up her hand, but it's for. Is it fine? Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll do that like that. Okay, now. So this is her, and this is going to be her leg. It's going to go out to here. It's going to go out to here. It's going to go out to there, and it is not visible. But that is. So we'll put that there. Put that there. Put that there. That's covered up by that. Okay. Kaplow. Alright, that should be it. Does she need to be a little bit smaller? Well, yes, perhaps a bit smaller. Let's see here. Oops, I selected the 100. Select this keyframe here. Let's do one of these things. Transform. Scale. Should scale have a hotkey? Yes, it should. Okay, and deselect. All right. Okay, that takes us out. Turn off. Wait, it is off. Okay, good. All right, let's take a look and see what we've got thus far after about an hour of struggle. Whoa, wow. All right. I've reviewed that enough, and I am satisfied that we do not need the God layer anymore. Boop. Hit save. All right. These are our keyframes. yes. There were a lot of keyframes. We got to do some in betweens. So we do need to do a few in betweens of some sort. Yes. Let's see. Do we need to? Let's see. It's going to be blank for 2, and then. Yeah, I don't think. Oh, well, it helps if it would help if I were in an animation layer, of course. Yeah, it would it? Yeah. So, okay, here we go. All right, let's put in a new animation frame right here. All right, so it's getting real. So, okay, so the orbital dynamic of the position of the stars. Let's see here. Let's make this. Yes. Putting your best feature forward. Oh, I'm sorry. What? No. I'm talking about the art here, the drawing. Okay, so that's what we got going on there. Okay, so we got the other leg that will be coming down to here, and then that will go like this, and then that one will go down to here. Boot there. Leg thing there. Pretty thick on that leg band. I have no idea what it is. Leg band? Sure. Let's make sure. Although it's going to be covered up in basically black, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead for the S's and G's thing, and just go ahead there, into there, into there, into there, into there. Okay. And we're just gonna go. There may be some detail there, but we have obliterated it completely. And the same goes for down here. All right. Okay, so that's where we're at there. Okay, let's go to here. Let's put in a new frame. All right. So now we're into the point where the hair has really got to sell this movement. So let's put our connector is going to be off to here. Okay. So that means, and this is going to be a little bit between these sizes here. The hands like that side there to that side. Okay, this is just some reference. You won't be able to see this, but it needs to be not. Normally, you wouldn't do one right in the middle, and you know what? I'm not going to do one right in the middle. No, normally you shouldn't do one right in the middle. No. That's okay. The idea behind keyframes is that if you let's go to let's just do a quick drawing right here. Okay, so let's say you have this here and this here. All right, and you have a line. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's say this is like a normal keyframe type situation. Okay, so these are your keyframes, and these are going to be your in betweens. So instead of like doing them but like spaced evenly, what it's suggested that you do is you do, okay, and depending on where the action is going to flow through, be here and here, so closer to your actual instead of just all being grouped up out in the middle. It makes the action seem pushed more. That's the theory behind it that I'm trying to apply and doing a heck of a job at it at that. Yeah. Anyway. So the heck of a job, I meant a ham-fisted job. Let's go back to black, so that be some consistency there. Okay, so now we've got her. And it's going to be like here. It's going to have that going on here. Shoulder blade in the back. Going to be a little bit bigger than here, just a bit though. Okay, coming up to the pole. Okay, that's going to go right about up to right here, and we're going to do one of these jobbies. Okay, because that's going to come right over to here. And we're going to put that leg out to here, to here, to here. Okay, kind of that extra doodad that we don't need. Okay, and we're going to go like that. And there it goes, and there you go. And then this leg is now this leg is now not quite where it needs to be. 1 second and it will be. Okay. Yes. It's going right. It's going right. It's not going right. Okay. All right. So what needs to happen here is this needs just to move ever so slightly up. There we go. Okay. Oh, let's not do that. Oh, I undid it too much there. Up. Okay, now I'm going to go back out to the pencil frame. Okay. Around the hand. Then to the pencil frame. Okay, there's the pencil tool for the frame. Okay. Man, oh man. Let's just put that in there. Let's put that in there. Okay, it goes up to there. It goes down to there, like so. Okay, and just like that. I'll have to go there, like so, and we're gonna do a clean up that face to make that look more like a face when I get down to the more detailed phase. But for right now, so that was the rotate canvas tool, which I mean, it can be a I'm sure a very handy thing to have. I tend to always run afoul of it, though, if you would. Backstrap there. Go ahead and say because she's not, she does have some stuff on. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, boom. All right. Let's turn that off. All right, and let's see what we have here. Okay, well, that's kind of getting the impression I think we want to give. Okay, let's get some detailing in here. Keeping in mind that most of this detailing is obliterated by this. But still, I'm going to make sure that some of that detailing is still relatively present. Let's go back up to here. Okay, I'm going to do one of these dealy bobbies right here. Maybe asking, how is all that kept in place? Well, I'm guessing lots of adhesive. Well, that's too high there. Let's kind of rid of that to there, to there, to there we go. Lots of adhesive. Alright, so I'm gonna get that to there, I'm gonna go that to there. Don't need those two connectors because that shows just where everything is going to connect up to there. Alright. No problem. Alright, let's check this one out. How are we doing here? Let's see. Well, that's got to have a band across right here. And that's got to go right up to there. That's going to go right up to there. We're going to edit a lot of the extraneous bits out. So whenever I go to the inking phase, that's going to be like a hard erasure line without a line being on it. Once coloring's done. Naturally. Okay. Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be a little bit larger. Okay. A bit more foreshortening. Although we're still kind of over her pretty much, we've got to get oh yeah, she has a mohawk, but then again, that's not really special. All of her race has a mohawk. think that needs to be bigger. Well, maybe. Not everyone has blue hair though, so maybe that's a stylistic choice. I don't know. All right, well. Okay, so there we go. We have hair swishing out. Although that is not going to be necessary. We'll just put that line on there. It's fine. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go to here. All right, stop right here. So we're going to start adding. Ooh, I'm not in the cleanup phase yet. Let's back up a second. Okay. That's going to be fine right there. All right. Ooh, I'm gonna put that bar into there. Originally, she did have gloves on during this performance, but now she does not, so it is fine. Okay, turn off the onion skin. Back to frame 1. Save. Yes, I'd like to get the penciling phase done. Before ending the stream. And very close on that. More or less. Let's see what we got. Very good, very good. Alright, we will come back. Yeah, let's go to this one. Let's get this one cleaned up just a little bit more here. How it should be. Let's since that face is going to be actually kind of more visible. let's get in this. Let's get into here and clean this up a little bit more. All right. Okay. Yes, I'm using the pen tool right now just to kind of really establish the features more or less. I can still kind of alter them, but okay. Tighten up that pencil here. Okay, so that's going to be fine going up like that. Let's see here. Change up mechanical. Sure that we've got that connects to here, that goes to there. Yep, that goes over there, and that goes around to right here. Okay, and also, I'm also forgetting to do that will get obliterated by our arm that goes out like that to there. Okay, there we go. Let's get in closer here and maybe make this less goofy. Get some details lined up here as best we can. Oh, oops. Strings. Line there. Alright, and let's go to the research tool and put in that jewel. Alright. Okay, that's just a little bit perhaps unnecessary cleanup. Pay no mind to that whatsoever. Alright, well, let's go back to pencil. And let's go back to regular pencil. And let's go back to 17. And let's turn on that onion skin again. And let's hit save. Okay. What I need to do, unfortunately, just up this a skosh. And let's go back to that and it's getting on here. Okay. Alright. So getting lost in here. So we're gonna have to reinforce this with some. Okay, so you can't just draw on an image without rasterizing it, so it's because it's an imported object. So when you rasterize it, that actually makes it a series of pixels inside the pastry pro. And then you can draw it. Oh, let's put some lines. Ooh, well, let's put some lines on it. Kind of help me give with the guides later on, saving a little bit of time here and there. All right, here we go. Oh, nice. Oh, well, see, I drew all that facial detail on there, and it's not even visible. Well, now I know. So this helps a little bit. So let's see here. I'm gonna put the hand is going to be out. Now, thumb would go out there. That's out there. Cylindrically goes to there. Head. And actually, it probably needs to be a little bit further out. Okay, so the head's going to be like this. Generally speaking, shoulders. Okay. Okay. That needs to be bigger. All right, so that needs to be bigger. Well, okay. All right then. Scaling. Make sure that we're right in the right position. Yeah, right about there. Maybe a bit more, just right about. Bingo. Okay, we'll do that and deselect and back to penciling. That's really one very handy thing about doing all this digitally as opposed to paper is that you can do stuff like that fairly easily and don't have to like pull up your paper and begin again. There are, I think, advantages on the paper side of things. Not throwing shade, Japan. Not throwing shade. You be you. It works for you. You do it that way, and that's how I say it. This art stuff. There are advantages and disadvantages. I will be the first to admit. Okay. All right. Very good. Band here. Very good. And a band here. Go like that. that's where we're cutting off anyway. Putting that out there so I can remember that is where that's cutting off. Okay, then I'm going to put that out here. The other leg leads us to this arm here. Let's get in a little bit closer there. Make this hand like more hand-like. Less a flipper, more of a hand. All right, so let's say all right. And I'll make that work and clean up. Don't you worry about that. Actually, probably just going to obliterate all that handwork because I have not done her hair yet. Well, before we do that, let's go ahead and maybe go to the face. Okay. Like so. Okay, and that's going to go right up to here, so we kind of know exactly where that's going to go. Okay, so we got to put the that there. Ooh, yep. Okay, that's going to go up, and out. What do you know? I didn't obliterate everything. A little bit there. All right. Okay, so see here. Okay, well, you know, this is not going too awfully bad. There. There, and then that goes back into the... Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Not bad, that's going to be obfuscated by that. Okay. Before we do that, let's turn off onion skin. Let's go to the next frame. Up. Frame up to here. Okay. Let's make sure some of our detailing is a little bit tighter here than it could be. Yep. Let's not do it that way. Let's try this way. There we go. Okay, let's get out the pen tool here. That there. Save myself a little bit of time on cleanup later, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Let's go back to here. Turn onion skin back on and proceed. Sure, that's a smile when I get down to it. Alright, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, that's could be better. Okay, that is that gonna be hidden? Nah, it's not gonna be hidden 100%. Okay. I should also point out, like all red girls, she has no navel. That's a Edgar Rice Burroughs and his Barsoomian stories with John Carter. You know, they're born in eggs, I suppose, in his universe. I'm not sure how these guys are born. I haven't even thought that far ahead, but I just thought, you know, like no navel. That's kind of a nice nod to that. So, yeah, she's also, I guess you could say, not as perhaps undressed as Tetrasaurus, and that was intentional as well. So, where are we? All right. Good. All right. So, hey, we are spiffing along here at a pretty good pace. No, well, let's turn on that. Need to fix that before I do this. Okay, all right. Okay, we're getting to the point where we need to start to, Oh, I've got that reversed. Got all those hands reversed. Oh. Alright, well, see, this is, happens from time to time. Yeah. You think you got it going on, right? And then you look and you're like, oh, well, that's incredibly stupid. Alright, well, how it goes. Yeah. Well, we're just going to put that on the back side. Sure. Alright. There we go. Gotta make sure we got the appropriate level of detailing going on here. And I'll hold that as black as up. Oh, geez. Oh. Okay. And we gotta put them back on there. Okay, that's good there. That's good there. And that is... No one's going to be able to see this because it's going to be off in the red girl. Oh, no, no. She's... I'm going to delete that out. Yeah, well. There we go. Okay. Let's see what we've got in way of onion skinning here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Whoop. Gotta keep your arcs in mind. There we go. If that's the case, her head's gonna have to be this way. Yeah. Let's do the shoulder first. And we'll head in next. Okay. There we go. Yeah. There we are. Okay, let's kind of make sure that we've got a little bit more of her detailing on here. Now, again, the hair is exaggerated. There's less time when doing frame by frame for me to natter about nonsensical things as, you know, concentrating quite well. The Animator Survival Guide. The author of the book was talking to one of the great old-time animators, which I don't remember at this time. Name does elude me. And did you listen to, like, he was asking the old seasoned pro, you know, do you listen to jazz or whatever when you do? He goes, if I could listen to jazz, I'm not that smart enough. So no, he didn't concentrate, which is kind of what I've been doing right here. So I'd like to apologize for the lack of commentary, but I believe that progress is being made quite well. Let's add in a keyframe. All right. So now we're getting down to it. A bit more of the back should be visible. Let's add a little bit more in here. There we go. Okay. And we're going to go right here and remember sweeping motions. Broad painterly strokes. Well, let's draw that in a little bit closer. Well, that. Sometimes you can over-exaggerate the effect. Let's bring that in a little bit. Let's bring that in. Okay. Ooh. Well, that's why they've made erasers, right? Righto. Uh-huh. And there's the hand on the other side of the hair. Not cheating on that. Don't forget that. Okay. So that one. Okay. All right. So I put this one right here. Okay, before I do this, let's go into that panel. Which panel? That panel? This panel? That panel. Sometimes I forget where I'm at. On the timeline. Because my head's over the little marker. There's a lot of red markers. Sometimes my hand's resting over that. When I'm looking at things, because I'm trying to get out of the way of the art, and that's why I hide that. And I'm like, whoa, yeah, I meant to, I should be, Yep. Erase that, because that looks terrible. It doesn't have to be much. It just has to be something of a hand. That's all it need be. All right, let's get in closer and do some facial details here. All right. Okay, that's good. That's good. Go ahead and say that that is probably pretty good. All right, there. All right, there. Yeah. All right, there we go. And okay, here we are. Ta-da! Much better. A much better sense of where I'm going and how I got there. I'd say that coming around the corner, so not 100% on that full. Alright. Goes out there, goes out to there, goes out to there. Okay, so far so good. There we go. A bit closer here because we got to do some facial stuff here. All right, zoom out a little bit here and see what we've got going on. Ah, it's not bad. All right, let's get that hair in there. We'd go like right to here, but we're not going to see that. That's fine. All right, and boop. Oh, sorry, boop right there, and over there for future reference only. Okay. All right, new keyframe. Sorry, new frame, not keyframe. We're used to saying that on the Moho side of things. So I just realized I have womp womp womp. Anyway, so these frames are getting slightly closer together. You may have noticed that. tell us I have to go back to this. Good Lord, Nathan. I don't have to get used to this. Mm-hmm. No, I'll have it down pat by the time I'm done. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Not bad. Let's see where we're at. Oh, I do need to put a little bit more of detailing. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is the whine of a cat. Wondering why he is outside of this room when I'm inside. He'll survive. He'll be fine. He can cope. Nah. Right, there we go. And oh, I seem to have forgot something. Okay. There we go, like so. All right. That leaves us just one more in between to go. Leaves us with just one more. I had the wrong thing. So we're gonna go to we're gonna go back to here. Right to here. Let's turn off the onion skin for a second and see what we got here. Well, it's a bit of a mess. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Darken that up to there. That's fine to there. Kind of erase some of these extraneous lines we may not need. There we go. Okay. Okay, just getting some a little bit of extraneous detailing down here that we will need to do later. Yes. Yeah, it's. I don't know if you can hear that whining, but it is epic cat whining. So, no, it's not feeding time. They get fed in the morning and in the evenings. He's just whining because he can whine. They get like this. Oh, final frame. That final frame. Let's go ahead and clean that up a little bit too. All right. All right, there we go. obliterated anyway. Well. Alright, and the last frame. Okay, so. There, and now we need to put some ears here, and we'll obliterate most of that handwork. Well, you know, you just never know what you're going to end up destroying out of your own work. Oh well, it's okay. There's a little bit of it there. I know that I did it. And that's all that really matters. I showed your work. I showed my work. That's what we're supposed to do, right? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put that in right there. Make sure we do that. And, oops. And here we go. Oh, let's turn off that onion skinning. Alright, ready? Are you ready for this magnificence? I'm going to keep her on there. If you're wondering if she's still going to stick around, she is for a little bit. Because I'm going to need her for the line thickness and the color guide. Okay, let's go back to the animation folder. Once I finish it saving. Saving. All right. So, okay. Woo. Let's see where this goes. Whoa! Okay, well, it turned out, I must admit, far better than I had anticipated. Alright, well, let's draw in some... no, let's not do that. Remember, we're not doing that. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do that, because I'm going to not color in those areas, but they're going to stop flat. Alright, there we go. 3 seconds. 3 seconds, 8 frames a second. And that is hey, so that is what we say is not that shabby. Okay. Now, you're thinking, well, that's not the end of it, is it? Well, of course not, it's not the end of it. That's just the roughly halfway through the process. This is the difficult part. Getting everything together where it needs to be, and just getting everything together where it needs to be, and roughly in the right spot. Very, very roughly in the right spot is the important part. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to hit pause. We're going to go to frame number 2. Actually, frame number 1. And what are we going to do? Okay, so now we need to go to here. And we need to take the opacity down to about 64%. Okay, we're going to hit new animation folder. All right, so what are we going to do? Hit new cell. And every time we see a new thing pop up, we're going to hit new cell. Whoop. But not right now. No. So now we're going. This is the inking phase. Yeah. So now we're into the phase where I'm going to try and get the lines to match the lines that I have here, because this is, generically speaking, not quite. Wow, we're going very thin. The thing about anime lines is occasionally, most of the time, they're very thin. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Alrighty, that's what, is that what we want? That's what we're doing. So. I know, I'm thinking about how complicated. Do I want to put any shines on the black areas or not? No, because there won't be any in the actual moho stuff. And so there will be, of course, edge highlights and shadows where necessary, and alternating from red to blue because of the strobe lights on the set. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. Sorry. Oh, that's really thin. That's like painfully thin. And okay, keeping in mind that she is not 100%. Okay, I'm gonna fudge this just a little bit here. My own peace of mind. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go outside the box here, just a skosh. All right, this makes the coloring phase of this much easier. How much easier? Well, you just do that, and then you just would go like kapow, like that, and that's how you get the color on there. We're just gonna leave it like this, but not quite. Okay, so there is a little bit of a problem right there. I'm gonna fix real quick. Again. Some animators on YouTube who do actual work for studios actually use this curve line tool here, because it's much more consistent. Whereas you can kind of get a little bit of warbling and stuff like that, but I kind of like the warbling. It seems more naturalistic, and it's gonna go quick. It's not gonna stick around very long. So that's the advantage of that. So what we do is we go to this frame now, and we need to do a new frame here. That's what we do. Okay, well, I'm going to do this frame, and we're going to be at probably about the 12:30 mark. And at that time, I think it will be good that I'm going to bump that up to 6. It won't matter on the shoe because that's largely black. So we're going to just say... Again, the reason why I'm kind of clicking off right there is because that is where it just makes coloring easier. And I will use a eraser tool to erase out the content that I will be coloring in. That will not... Cancel. Copying out this entire... Okay, yeah. Let me just make coloring much more easier. Let's see how this works. Ooh, that's sweet. Because the thickness on that is going to be... So, yeah, the curve tool is kind of handy and dandy. It gives you a very consistent curve without having to worry about... it's not really cheating. It's like using a ruler. If I were doing this on a cell, I'd have all sorts of rulers, including a bendy curved ruler, and service of French crescents in order to pull us off with aplomb. And I don't have those digitally, so these are what they are digitally. So it's not really cheating, actually. I just use the pencil tool because I'm used to using the pencil tool on this. And we're not going to worry about a lot of that other stuff at this moment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, subconsciously, her posterior is probably going to really stick with you whenever the audience witnesses that. Is that by design, or is that just a happy accident? The world may never know. So, there we go. Hey, we're at 12:23. Yeah, we'll be doing more. It's lunchtime. Your artists are starving. They've got to eat too. It's only natural. Well, I'll come back after lunch and finish this up. Possibly, maybe we'll see how things go. I might move on the rest of the day to something else in order to kind of wrap things up, and maybe come back to this on Friday morning or tomorrow evening, if possible. Because I hate to, miss out on the entirety of the process, and we need a new cell right here, so that's that. Well, you know what? It may not take that long to do, so we're just going to go ahead and kind of just do another quick cell. Like so. Again, this is not going to be visible, so that's not really too keen, but bugs the heck out of me. And mostly that's because my hand's covering it whenever I'm drawing. Right-handed, but I draw like I'm left. Right like I'm left, so I don't know what's the cause of that. Anyway. So we're going to put this right here. This is going to be her ear. We'll see, that's her head. Nope. Back of her head. Inking, or I believe it's also referred to as cleanup phase of your animation. I'm just going to go like that right now. And like that. Okay, so let's go ahead. There. And I just realized something I didn't do. What didn't I do? I did not put any sort of detailing on that hand. Well, that's just how it goes, isn't it? Ooh, wow, let's get in there and fix some of that. Yeesh. The idea is to use the strokes and then go back in and clean up the pieces that don't quite match up very well later. And that's kind of what I'm doing. So. Yeah, this is where you got to make your the nonsense that warrior pencils actually mean something. Okay, well, we're going to say that is probably okay there, but that's going to be right there. Okay. The thing we need to do is we need to do one of these numbers off to here, because that's going to cover up that, like so, and that's going to come up to there, like so. Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm using a a Huion monitor and a Indavo monitor, and it's a 16, canvas 16, so it's it's a little tiny. It's a little tinier than maybe I'd like. Oh, I like a 23. But anyway, I don't have a Hunza at the moment. And what I also use, that you may hear the slight rustle over my droning music, and that is caused by my anti-fouling glove rubbing up against the screen protector, which is actually, now this is what I'm really interested in, is actually a paper texture one, because I'm of the old age, and I don't like the drawing on the plastic feel that you get from. I'm sure that people who have grown up drawing on plastic do not have such feelings toward paper. But I am used to drawing on paper, primarily Bristol board, so that paper resistance really helps the penmanship, the inking phase here, quite a bit. So yes, so there is that. Okay. All right, and let's take a quick peek at that. Yeah, we need to go back down to the animation folder. Let's see here, which one is this? Is this 3? It is 3. Excellent. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit here. Okay, so that's probably good there. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. Let's put this up there. Okay, we'll put that over there, and then we're gonna try and make it look like there's something of a grip going on here. Something of a grip going on here. There we go. All right, now back up to most animation hands are not super detailed, especially in the action sequences. This has to register as a hand in the human brain, and hopefully that will. Put the lines on there to sell it. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's what we got so far. More to come later. I will, like I said, I will do another live stream. I won't go ahead and just wrap this up. I will do another one where this will be inked, and then it will be colored. And make sure that you know the process from stop to finish. I've done this before, but you know what? I'm sure how many repeat viewers I have on these live streams. So we're just going to pretend and move on. So, all right, well, we're going to save that one for another pulse pounding save. All right, hey, thanks for watching, and then sometime in the next couple of days, I'll try and do another one where I wrap this up. And thank you for watching. If you have any questions,